the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Boo.
Speaking of the rain, right? So,
Hey.
Wow, that was a double whammy.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Hey, Sad Dads Club podcast, episode 169.
On this rainy,
Windy
NorCal night with what the fuck with the moth all of a sudden?
Maverick from Top Gun is buzzing the tower. Jesus.
Who gets killed?
The light's over there.
What's the dude's name that gets killed?
Goose?
Yeah. Hope Goose doesn't take one in the shorts. You know?
Just let it go, man.
Just let it. Jeez, it's just a light, bro.
I am. My son.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Rico Suave?
So, any free moment that he has within his allowable free time, he's jacked into something electronic. It's been rainy. So,
does he find he's not allowed to go outside with electronics?
Yeah. The last couple of days he goes to school. I'm on PTO. So the last couple of days when it's been raining, if it's morning and Venus isn't jammed up, she can give him an early ride and then come back and then finish her morning stuff. But he generally has this like nonchalance about rain, and it wasn't until
it doesn't bug him at all.
Yeah, you know, like no realization of the consequence of.
I might get wet.
Yeah, mist is one thing. Rain is another. And if you leave here with a hood up, you're going to get fucking soaked. And, you know, duh. Anyway, so I'm on PTO. And Venus had taken care of the morning thing. But it was, in the afternoon, it had started to rain.
Yeah.
And as it got, and I had dropped him, actually, that's not true. I dropped him off in the morning because he didn't have an early band thing. He had a normal one. So Venus had to be gone. So I woke up. All right, take him to school and have a good day. All right. But as it got towards the pickup time, it was starting to rain.
So this is Monday or Tuesday?
I think it was Monday. It had to have been Monday.
Okay. I thought it rained all day. Didn't it rain all day?
It was off and on, and there was a break-ish.
I didn't remember one.
Near...
Because
2 o'clock.
I'm surprising. I mean, you don't live that far from me, and I swear to God, it was a 40-day and 40-night rain.
To me, it was raining, but I would think in his eyes it was probably closer to sprinkling. Either way, as it got close, I sent a thing. I was working on the Jeep outside in a pop-up tent
in the rain.
In the rain-ish for me. So I had pulled plug early, knowing that I was going to have to go get him because it was actually more precipitation than it was when I dropped him off. So this was a given. Go pick up the son. No need to walk. I'm here. Don't worry about it. Even if I was working, I
would go get him.
It takes 5 fucking minutes tops. So as close to knowing his nonchalance and yet knowing that it was raining, I send him a text near get out of school time. Hey, pick you up, same place that I dropped you off this morning. And then Venus...
Which is at the driveway.
Right, yeah. The driveway to the school, bitches. So then I said something to Venus. I'm like, yeah, I'm leaving to pick up Xander. Just double checking that that's a given. And I had waited a little too late because I had a tool or something. So I left a little bit later than I wanted, and I ended up catching like the parade of cars that were all stacked up. Some of you fucking parents around here and your little car cutting shenanigans. Yeah, no, I see how this shit works.
You're off the list.
Shit's ruthless. I'm like, anyway. So the bell rings. I'm in the line. And, I'm thinking about Jeep things. Kids start passing by me. And my line that I'm in is not fucking moving. Only to find out that in this place that I was at, some cars are parked with the expectation that the kids walk to them. And some cars are waiting to get, like, merge out and get into the line to do, like, the rotation. So now the bell is rung. We're about 2 minutes past. I still haven't gotten anything from my son. My son's all about the technology.
Right.
He should be getting these messages. So then I'm like, fine. I'll just fucking call him and tell him I'm in line. Wait right there. I'll be there.
Yeah.
He doesn't pick up the phone. Okay. Maybe he's doing something with band, putting stuff away. He hasn't got it. 5+ minutes go on. One, my car still hasn't moved because it doesn't hit me
that you're not really in a line.
That I'm not in a line.
Right.
I'm a parked guy, not a line guy.
You're just parked and waiting.
Then I'm like, all right, well, now I got to start my car, and I'm trying to, like, peek around fenders, like, okay, I see taillights. Some of these people are... Oh, I see.
Uh-huh.
And as I start to, like, get in gear and I start making a move, some
Yahoo. There it is.
Swoops in the gap,
uh-huh.
and then she becomes. I'm like, oh,
there we go.
Oh, so that's how we're getting. And then it all falls to this morning, the earlier in the morning when Venus is like, I can't believe you, like, drove in and, like, duped around for him, because every time I get in the parking lot in the morning, I just want to cut bitches. And I went, no, I'm super patient. I'm the one that cuts the bitches, so I got nothing. And I could slowly feel my fuse being lit as this Yahoo cuts in front of me. And I went, it's okay. You know, I'm still waiting for Xander to respond anyway. No big deal.
I mean, at this point, he might be dead in a ditch.
Right. And then it's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So then I'm thinking, okay. Well, one, I haven't seen him pass me yet.
Uh-huh.
So he's still waiting. Maybe
he'd have to go by here to get home.
Maybe, yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe he's John with his friends, whatnot. But I'm still trying to, like, hopscotch, leapfrog my way to the line of moving cars.
To get around the parked,
right?
Waiting
But
cars.
then I'm in a line of sight thing where I can't quite fucking tell who's a parked parent and who's in a line parent.
It sounds like this needs organization.
Oh, I was about there. So then the fuse is burning hot now.
You need parking, like the lighted parking wands. Yeah.
Are you Parker?
Get moving.
You a mover?
Yeah,
come on.
exactly.
You know. Would have been handy.
Right.
Would have been handy. But now we're at 10 minutes. My son hasn't responded, and I send a thing to Venus like, "Where the fuck is your son? What the hell? It's 10 minutes." So then I call him on Discord, and then I send him a Discord message, because everything he does with his friends on Roblox is done through Discord now. For us, and like #HeyTed, it would be like TeamSpeak when we were playing like World of Warcraft or early MMO stuff.
Yeah.
The new hotness is Discord. Everyone's using Discord, my son included. So I'm like,
because everyone loves to pay for services. That's why.
Right.
I mean, if you want extras.
Have you ever paid for anything in Discord?
No, but if you want to add files.
Oh, yeah.
You got to pay per month.
Yeah, that's what we just Google Drive that shit. So I'm thinking this is my hot end. But he's not picking up the Discord call twice, and he's not answering his Discord messages. So then now I'm pissed.
Because and maybe worried?
Yes. Because
is the ratio of pissed to worried?
And in like all of this stuff, when we disconnected a few shows back, I disconnected like all the training wheels and nanny shit from his phone. So I'm not tracking him. Like we're all on the Venus, Piper, and I are on a
he needs an iPhone.
Location sharing shit, so I could see him passively.
He needs an iPhone.
Right.
I mean, what it boils down to is that,
and I hadn't set anything up because he's still just walking from there to here. It's no big deal. But I can't see his location, so now it's like, right. Now there's dad worry. Is he walking in the rain? Because now my windshield wipers are on because it's that raining.
Right.
I'm frustrated and struggling to move, and it's passing 15 plus minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm making my way up a lot closer. And the car in front of me that I thought was a mover. And I'm blind because now I'm trying to make sure that I don't get cut in front of.
Absolutely.
So I'm.
You're doing what any person in normal traffic that's been cut off is doing.
Right.
You're tailgating.
Yeah. I'm nose to ass ish.
Yeah.
Safely.
Yeah.
But we're also parked, like moving, like clutch in and edge it, and then.
Yeah.
And this lady, 2 kids, get in her car, and so I think, oh, okay, so she's gonna zip out. Oh no,
she's waiting for more band kids.
I don't know. 2 kids get in her car.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, I'm getting ready to move. Car goes back on, put in gear, and I'm getting ready to like edge forward, and her lights go off, and then she gets out of the driver's side. And she walks to the passenger side, or walks to the driver's side passenger rear door behind her, opens the door, and she starts doing something with someone. Maybe it might have been a car seat. Like maybe she was buckling in baby because they were just sitting, so she had him unbuckled. But I can't see, and she is just like...
Zero
fucks. Taking all the time in the world... And like a minute of this shit, and now, because she's got a door open.
Here's the red.
Oh, we are about at the end of the fuse, dude. I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Edging 20 minutes now. Still haven't heard from my son.
Oh.
And finally, I'm like, fine, this bitch, I'm fucking done with you.
She's going to have a Michelin face.
Yeah. I loop out around her, and I am... The line to loop into the parking lot of the school is
gone.
There's no line. I went straight into the school parking lot. I'm like, bitch, you were the only car. There's like a 16th of a mile between me and the driveway, and your car is just sitting here. You couldn't have go around. You couldn't given me like a heads up that you were literally an obstacle.
Hey, she doesn't know.
And
she just thinks you're parked and waiting too.
Fucking fuck, dude. Oh, so pissed.
Oh, you're waiting for yours?
It was like, it was like the 2 of us were just sitting there,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Hot. So then I loop into the parking lot, park exactly where I'm dropped him off in the morning.
Right.
I sit there. I don't see my son. So then I shut the car off. I sent a thing to Venus.
This is probably the funniest part, right?
And I sent a thing to Venus. I'm like, well, I left cool as a cucumber, but now I'm fucking pissed. Where's your son? And I don't know. He usually, he's good about keeping his phone off on campus. He probably just doesn't have. Called him again. No call. Now... The whole purpose of you to have a fucking phone at this age when you're out
is this kind of coordination.
This is. Oh.
So did you roll the RS through the campus?
I just put that fucker in drift and just. Yeah. I came back home, parked the car. He was not here. The garage door. I leave the garage door open.
Oh God.
I come into the office. I sit down. Hot. Dude, I am hot.
He could just fucking get home on his own, goddammit. I waited.
Bing. Oh, message.
Where are you?
Yeah, right. I'm not dead. I'm almost home. I walked. No shit.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't pick you up.
Guess what? I'm home too. And it was enough. I don't know how he did not pass me, and I did not pass him on my hot lap back to the house, thinking
maybe that was the problem.
I could catch him and then yell at his ass.
You were on a time trial, and
dude,
he was.
Yeah, apparently. Like, what did you just fucking like wormhole slip space between campus and anyway? So I'm sitting in the office, and he walks to one. Two. We're on. Okay, second issue. Like I said, the garage door is open.
Uh-huh.
And he walks past the office windows to the front door. And I sent a thing to your wife. Or your wife. My wife.
Little Freudian slip there, huh, buddy?
Hey, we communicate all day. I sent a thing to my wife. I'm like, your dumbass son walked past an open garage
to go to the front
go to the front door of a house he lives in. and then I get a text.
He's avoiding your office.
Hey, door's locked. Go! I'm yelling. Go the fuck around. Garage is open. And then, garage is open. Holy shit! The brightest bulb in my house right now.
The cluelessness of it all.
He walks in, and I kind of just did like a prairie dog thing from my office chair, like over my little cue ball partition thing, and I went, so I went to school to pick you up, and he went, yeah, I walked. And I went, yeah.
I would have just popped up and said, good walk home?
Yeah. Are you wet?
'Cause good.
Dumbass. I'm like, turn on your fucking phone. He's like, what? I'm like, dude,
you don't notice the fucking 30 missed calls and text messages and Discord chats?
Yeah, your phone, you were 100 yards away from the house, and you probably, bless his heart that he's actually not using it like as a distraction when he's at school.
Right.
I can appreciate that.
Or distributing drugs.
Right. Or, doing drugs on campus. With needles, or who knows,
or crack pipes,
bad touch, whatever. He's a good kid.
He's not doing it as far as we know.
Yeah, he's clean.
Get the fucking tracker.
Yeah. Where you at, bitch? He got to turn on your phone.
Maybe he got a hot chick to give him like partial ride home.
Oh,
that's why he didn't care to notice.
Yeah. That's my dad's car. I'm just gonna stay in here for a second.
Yeah.
Until he pulls forward. Oh, that lady is blocking him in. He isn't going to go anywhere. Okay,
yeah. Her door's open.
Yeah, her door's open. Fuck.
That's funny.
So I had to have like a come to Jesus moment talk with him about. I'm like, okay, so I'm on PTO pretty much until Christmas. If it's raining, I will come get you.
Newsflash.
Yeah, newsflash.
I will parent and grab you.
Yeah, I will come and get you. There's no reason for you to walk in the rain. That's stupid.
Unless you have brought an umbrella and you're willing.
He's not taking it. Yeah, no.
He's not gonna.
Yeah, no. Fuck, dude. Like, these are common sense things, son. And Venus had apparently told him the same conversation. She's like, if it's raining, as soon as school is over, it's okay to turn your phone on while you're at school. Just turn your phone on, because while it's raining or inclement weather or something changes, you may get a message that's important that we want you to see as soon as you turn your phone on, as soon as school is over.
Here's my guess, is that I would assume 99.9% of all the students in school have their phones on if they don't just have it in like
probably
quiet mode or
yeah, do not disturb or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine that's normal operating procedure.
Yeah.
And if you are a kid that turns off your phone, holy shit, you are from another era.
Right.
Right. And also, like, as soon as that last bell rings, you can turn that shit back on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we gave him, like, I had to give him the specific green light. Because this, dude, if I'd have known you were going to walk, I just would have kept working on the Jeep straight through.
Yeah.
And given that I was in the rain working on the Jeep, like,
it was more of an effort to leave.
Right. To pull, like, okay, I've got to wash my hands because I'm not getting in the RS and change pants, change hoodie.
Yeah.
And he, okay. I'm like, fucking Jesus.
I had my own frustrating thing dealing with the rain.
Okay.
Our house, like, Christmas decorations rule them all at my house.
Yes, I drove by last night. You are lit up just short of Griswold's.
I mean, it's not that bright, but it's
bright, dude.
It's significant.
Yeah.
Right. And So Monday we had it rained a lot. It was very wet.
Do you have a rain gauge?
No, I wish I did.
It was inches.
Yeah, it was like 3 or more inches or something.
Easy.
It rained a lot, and one of the main everything on the front of my house runs off of one outlet. Okay, okay, and that outlet is attached is a obviously GFCI or whatever circuit, but that circuit is the same. It's an outlet on the front of the house. It's the same circuit that is attached to the outlet on the back of the house, and it is controlled by the GFCI breaker in the master bathroom. Okay, so if the GFCI trips, the entire circuit front and back and the bathroom are dead until I can rectify said situation.
Okay.
So it rained a lot.
Yes.
Lights came on. Then I hear some noise in the bathroom. Don't really pay attention to what that is, to the point to where like the cat and the dog are both like, what was that? You know what I mean? Like a snap sound of some kind.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really click with me until I kind of, at some point later, probably an hour later, look out towards the front of the house and see that it's dark. And then I realize,
no, that's not festive.
We lost the lights out front. It's raining a lot, you know. So that makes me go in the bathroom. Sure enough, the GFCI light's on. Can't reset it because it's just re-tripping.
Right.
Go out front. Go out back first. Unplug stuff.
Right.
And then go out front, unplug stuff. It comes back on. Plug stuff back in, snaps right away. So I begin to realize one of the main power cables that I run is an inline 3 outlet cable. So it's a really long cable that's got an inline like power outlet in different spaces. Okay. That runs under a shelf that's out front, and it was upright, so the plug faced up, and I had stuff plugged into it, and water was dripping down in it, and it was shorting. Okay, now I know where the problem is, because I blew it out without everything plugged in. The breaker would turn back on. Okay, here's my problem spot.
Right, yeah.
But now everything's like really water soaked, because it's been raining all day.
Right.
So I get a can of compressed air, I blow it out, plug it in, then I try and like tuck it up underneath the shelf so it's like kind of protected from the rain and get it to turn so that it's not sitting straight up.
Right.
Everything that's in there is the wiring, the stuff that's plugged into that outlet is pulled to its capacity to reach this outlet. So you can't really maneuver it very well.
Everything is taut.
Yeah, it's
tight.
It's taut. So I'd get it turned back on, like 10 minutes later, clicks right back off. The problem is that there's a mechanical timer. It's an old school timer. I've had it for years.
Okay.
Mechanical timer. So every time the power goes out, the timer stops moving. So if I reset everything and get it working again, I got to pull the timer and adjust it to the right time. Right. And this happens every time. It's super frustrating. So this goes on for like 5 different times, and it is dumping rain. I'm putting on a sweatshirt. I'm putting on shoes. I'm creeping around in the bushes in front of the shelf, getting rained on. And every single time I come back in the house, I'm more and more and more wet every time, to the point to where, like, the last time, the back of my shirt was soaked up half my back, and my sweatshirt looked like I had just dunked it in the pool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And finally, I just got so angry that I just said, no more, we're not having lights. Yeah. I just unplugged all the shit and reset the breaker so my wife would have stuff in the morning.
Lights in the shower?
Yeah. Stuff in the morning. Swoop. And I just was super frustrating. And I even got, like, at one point I got some aluminum foil and made like a little umbrella tent to like cover it. And then it still tripped. And I think it just got saturated just from being out there. And probably the 2 things that were plugged in stacked on top of each other were wet. It was just like a shit show. But talk about frustrating. It was so...
This was Monday?
Yeah, this was Monday. So frustrating. Monday night. And then yesterday it was dry, so I got out there and blew it all out with my compressed air again, got it all dried. And then I took a Ziploc bag, put it over the connection, and then duct taped the shit out of it.
Oh, yeah.
And then got it tucked up underneath there. No word yet. Is it just pretty much it started raining right before I left to come over here? So no word yet on whether or not
it's going to last.
It's going to last, but I would hope so.
Well, you'll know when you get home if there's no landing lights.
True.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could get a suntan from how bright your lights are.
Hey, we've talked about this before, but the outside's nothing compared to the inside.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
My wife goes apeshit. She loves Christmas time. So there are snowmen all over the place. I'm not joking. It took her like 2+ days to decorate the inside of the house this year.
We were speaking of Christmas. So we were talking in the kitchen. I think it was over the weekend. What should we get to? Christmas songs. Do you listen to like Christmas stations?
Sure.
Okay. Do you mind? Okay, let's put it this way. Where is your affinity when it comes to like Christmas songs? I'll listen to anything and I enjoy any and all.
No.
Okay. In our house, it is strictly the traditional old school stuff. Now I don't mind the Mariah Carey one. But for the most part, it's the Bing Crosby's, the traditional old crooner style holiday Christmas music.
Cirrus has 3 or 4 channels of Christmas music.
Right.
One of them is like more of a modern Christmas station.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of them's a traditional Christmas station. And I like the traditional stuff more than I like the modern one.
Mm-hmm.
The modern one's just got weird artists and shit in there that I don't care for.
And there are a couple, at least one outside the Mariah Carey one. The one caveat that I have is that any of the Michael Bublé, in a heartbeat. Like I put him.
He's old school sound.
Yeah. He sings it with like full, at least what sounds like full big band kind of thing,
right?
And sings it in a traditional Christmas,
right?
Not a pop or rock mix or twist. He sings it like a Bing Crosby would. And I listened to after we'd had the conversation. I tried like an instrumental only traditional. It was good, but sometimes it was just a little too like one-dimensional.
That's like Mannheim Steamroller all the time.
I like that. I don't mind those mixed in on occasion. But the Mannheim Steamroller and the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, those ones to me are kind of almost like an offshoot of Christmas stuff. They're like holiday in spirit, but not Christmas songs.
Yeah.
I'll listen to those too. I enjoy both of those guys. And I listened to the Michael Bublé holiday Christmas album.
Yeah.
Probably 4 or 5 times. Like, it's good to my ears. I enjoy that. But the holiday traditional classics is where I go to. And the multiple places that I've been, whether here in the garage or out working on the Jeep or the last couple days if I'm in the office just killing time, this year specifically, that's my go-to. Like my ambient is just listening to and gives me the feels.
It's funny that you're talking about that because we literally, my wife and I just had a conversation about this a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
The old school traditional holiday music, Bing Crosby and those kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They just have there's a production quality in them.
Yeah.
It's like the full kind of like classic old school band and all that kind of stuff. Where the new music just doesn't have that sort of production quality.
Yeah.
And it just feels cheap?
There's like weight.
Yeah.
Like there's weight to the music.
Uh-huh.
And perhaps it's just like a nostalgia thing, and I give credit to that. But yeah, I would like even it could be well produced music from both eras.
Yeah.
And yet there's something, I think the outlier is something like the Michael Bublé's, where
there's a few that are good.
He's taken some of that production value of large multi-piece band, and his voice is absolutely amazing, and then created something that also has. And I'm not even like a religious or faith-based person, and most of those songs are all based around obviously the Christmas as a religious holiday.
Right.
And I love every single one of it. Like there is something about like Little Drummer Boy, like boom, humbling.
Right.
I'll stop what you're doing, just listen to like said the night. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
Now on the other hand, there was a Barbra Streisand song that came on.
Yeah.
I forget what song it was, but it was terrible.
I was just gonna say, is there a Christmas song that you can't stand?
I don't think I'd ever heard this song, and probably for good reason, because probably no one ever plays it because it's not very good.
Mm-hmm.
It was like this Barbra Streisand song where she was like, took like a traditional like Christmas song and like sang it in this weird funky way. And my wife and I we were driving, and I looked at her and I was like, what the hell is going on with this song? Yeah. And you could tell it was an older song. It wasn't like a recent recording.
Yeah.
But it just didn't strike me.
I can't stand the Beatles one.
Oh.
So this is Christmas.
Oh,
I skip that shit every single time.
Yeah.
One that I found that either I've just glossed over it, missed it, was I don't know the name of the song, but it's by Judy Garland. It's phenomenal. Like, how have I been missing this one in like a lot of it maybe because of my music subscription services, just never kind of ran across it.
Right.
Between Google Play and YouTube Music and Apple Music and Pandora and whatnot, it just never came up. How, I don't know, but this Judy Garland song is like, man, add this, please. This is awesome.
You know, it's funny because in my mind, like there's always a conscious effort before Christmas to try and like remember to try and buy some music that I want in my collection of Christmas tunes.
Oh, okay.
And then I just never do for some reason.
So you curate your own Christmas music list?
I have tried, but what we've done, you know, I bought an XM subscription a few months ago for that Oregon trip we did.
Oh, okay.
And I intend to cancel the subscription when it comes up.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of rethinking all of that because it's actually pretty valuable and we use it all the time. And with the Christmas channels that it has on there, is like this traditional holiday Christmas music channel is really good. There's been like I said, a couple like that Barbra Streisand song, a couple that have been on that I've been like, what is this? Mm-hmm. And then that'll get me searching into one of the other channels.
Mm-hmm.
But this one by far has exceeded my expectations as far as what they're playing. Kind of like what you're talking about. Like it has a lot of the old school music in there. Where on like the other channels got a lot of the, like I don't want to listen to Miley Cyrus sing Christmas songs.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't it doesn't hit me in a way that's
Boys in sync. I don't need
you know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
I don't
know.
I like the old stuff.
I'm like 50, so what do I know?
They have it's the music. Last week we recorded early so that I could catch Xander's.
Yeah, I'm still spinning angry about that.
I know. You were yelled at me and dressed me down like, why do we keep doing this shit for you?
Even though I did it like multiple times.
Making
recently.
Accommodations for you and your bullshit events. You know, and I hadn't thought about it until his band teacher was announcing that because of COVID, This was the first time in 2 years that she had been able to do a holiday thing.
Oh, really?
Right. So
Oh,
this was, as Xander is now in 8th grade, he's graduating from middle school. So his first holiday festival, and he only got 2. He got his first one and his last one.
interesting.
So I hadn't thought about it. Like, well, at least you got to go out. I got to hear the one on the way out. Like, you
Right.
won't have another one. This is it,
Right.
at least for that school.
Man, COVID's thrown a wrench in so many different things.
Yeah.
So many different things.
And then Thursday, I think Thursday was Piper's dance class. Had a show. It wasn't necessarily holiday specifically related. However, they had some novelty Christmas costume outfits things going on. Minus the COVID season where we missed out. I'm still amazed by these kids over there that, like, when we were in high school, our kids weren't doing dance like these kids were. It was fun. It was really great to see both Xander in his last shot at a holiday set, the growth there, and seeing, the last time you were up here and I was listening to you, that was two years ago.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we got to close the book kind of thing.
Right. Book ended that.
Right. Piper, same kind of thing. This is her last winter thing for dance. The growth, I was telling her when the first couple shows that we went to where she was doing, coming up freshman, sophomore and whatnot, her facial expression as she was, you're trying to smile for the crowd as you're doing the thing, but you could tell that she's in her mind. She's like thinking about steps. So she goes into these breaks with her smile,
Right.
where she's like thinking and then
Right.
and then she grins up. So
Yeah.
she's, thinking about the music and the steps. Smile for the crowd.
Right.
And when there's a moment, I was telling her, I said, the show is amazing. I said, your growth is absolutely amazing. I said, in this one, it looked like you were enjoying it and you had fun.
Right.
Like, it wasn't, I'm dancing, there's a grade here, and okay, I remember my steps, and
I'm terrified.
I'm nervous and terrified,
Yeah.
which are all fine things, but in this performance, you could tell that was not prohibiting her from showing that she was having a fucking great time.
Right.
So I'm like, another bookend. For me
Right.
as a dad, it was like, I got to see, tangible. I got to see her grow from point A and nervous, but a good dancer, to still a great dancer, but enjoying it.
Right.
Did her skill set, she's not a dancer,
Right.
but she enjoys the activity. So did she get leaps and bounds above her skill set from where she started? Not necessarily, but where she made up tons of ground was carrying herself on stage and enjoying the activity
Right.
and the presentation. Like, you can't put a grade on, in my mind, you can't put a grade on that one. Like, I can see it as a father, like, nailed it. I'm super proud.
Right.
And then Thursday of this week, she has her band. There's a band concert thing, so we don't have to redo the show or move it around because it's on a Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So that will be, if you've listened to the podcast for any length of time at this point, that is my moment of Zen shit where I sit in the crowd. Susie came to us with the Xander's performance, and I sit and I close my eyes and I just listen to the band play. And I think Venus had said something like, "Oh, Jay's got his eyes closed," and mother-in-law Susie, she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "I just set down the senses I don't need. I know where my son is. I love my son. He knows I love him. I want to hear the music.
Yeah.
And she's, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I'm like, well, fuck yeah, it makes sense because I'm doing it. And that's how it is. So I look forward to her performance, her last winter performance, eyes closed and listening to great fucking music.
Yeah.
I live for that shit.
It makes me, you talking about that makes me remember, before Melly was in college. And I mean, she danced at a studio since she was 3. And then she did dance at the high school level.
Yeah.
And you get a mix of kids at the high school level, right? I mean, she had been dancing since she was 3 at the point where she's in high school. Now she's taking dance classes at the high school level. And so you get a mix of people. You get kids that are just there because they need a grade.
Right.
Down to people that think they are they want to dance, and so they're taking a class because they're excited to take a dance class.
Mm-hmm.
You get some kids like Melanie who have been dancing, and it's like, oh, this is an easy grade for me because I've already been doing this stuff.
Right.
But it takes me kind of back to watching her at the shows at Roseville High, and also she was on dance team, and so going to the football games.
Mm-hmm.
And watching the dance team perform at halftime and that kind of stuff was really kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Miss that stuff.
And I'll say this, too. If you are a parent, I can't let this one go. If you're a parent of some varsity football players, when your sons have to attend some of these extracurricular arts activities, and your sons were sitting in the front row of the Friday show booing the kids, fuck you, you're doing a terrible job.
Yeah.
You made some of the dancers very upset. You distracted from the show, and your sons are pieces of shit.
Because they thought they were being funny.
Yeah. They have some friends and classmates that come that cheer. And Pepper told me that before the show. She's like, it's okay to cheer. And clap and whistle and stuff. And I went,
encouragement.
After the performance, on your way out, she's like, no. If you see something that you like, clap. And I'm sure, it's just been so long. I'm sure it was that way in the couple that I had attended before COVID hit. But I had forgotten. I'm like, oh, wait. So anytime, once the first couple of dances had come through and you could tell that there are some fellow student body people that are someone's doing a flip or a kip or just proud to be a friend of someone putting on a performance. And
the woo girls come out.
Yeah, the cat calls and the whistles and the clapping. The fucking good job. Not the fucking, but the good job. You're having a good time. Apparently Friday's show had some ass hats that totally wrecked the show for the dancers because your sons are inarticulate douchebags.
Right.
And there's no reason for it. If you can't be cultured enough to take in some art with your mouth closed, don't go.
Yeah.
Go do something else. No one shows up to football games or baseball games, of which not baseball, but my daughter is, and a number of the kids who were dancing, male and female, go to your football games specifically to play music for you and the crowd, to get them engaged, to watch you play.
Right.
And you come to their show and you absolutely train wreck it because you're douchebags.
Right.
Dude, when she came home from Friday's show and she was having a hard time, Warpath.
Yeah.
Who do I need to call? Because it's unacceptable.
That's unacceptable.
These are apparently it's a requirement for the football team to attend some of these other art things. I'm all for that. But if you can't conduct yourself in a young adult manner and keep your mouth if you don't like what you're seeing, zip it.
Yeah. Well said.
That's it.
Yeah. That's bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit. And, no one goes to those other sporting events.
I think we should.
To boo your... yeah. Hey, you, little Johnny Fuckwad. Yeah, remember?
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, you're in baseball now, but you were in football, and you attended this show in December, Yeah. I hope he hope he gets struck out, bitch. Yeah. I hope that pitcher beans you in the nuts and you're not wearing a cup. Tool bag.
No, that would have pissed a lot of people off. Yeah.
Venus is like, I'll send an email. I'll do it right now. I know assistant coaches. And Parker's like, oh, like, you got names?
Yeah. Who was it?
Yeah. Who?
Yeah.
I can tell you that my daughter was not the only one that was set off the rails by guys who couldn't conduct themselves in a polite manner.
Right.
Come on.
Oh, you know who you can blame.
Yeah. Obama?
Well, of course. But it comes down to parents, man.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Fuck you guys.
I'm just trying to... Oh!
I thought you were going to throw your headset down. Like,
oh, dude. I'm hot now. I hadn't mentioned. So at the dance performance, Emily's Jeep.
Yeah.
Emily is also, I think I mentioned in the last show, she's musically gifted. And she does dance. So she plays multiple instruments, and she is... she flew to New York somewhere in mid-fall to play at Carnegie Hall.
Oh, wow.
So she's very talented.
Yeah.
I presume she'll go far with at least some musical scholarships. Anyway, mid-performance and like an intermission of the dance thing, they wheeled out a piano, and she played... Dude, she played some piece... I don't know the name of it. It was in the program, and it was like
it.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude, like filled my soul.
Yeah,
like like
awesome.
Cup. I'll fix 10 fucking Jeeps, and that's all I need. It was so gorgeous to just this young lady is on this planet to put beautiful things in people's ears.
Right.
And we should be grateful for it. Like, absolutely a treat. So, yeah. Paid in full for all Jeep activities.
Did that give her the ticket to send you a message and be like, can I have my Jeep back?
Yeah. Well, out my head.
She got done playing and walked off stage and said, can I have my Jeep back now?
Yeah.
Are you done?
Is my Jeep in the parking lot? Is the Jeep in the parking lot?
Did you like that song? Yeah? Oh, okay. Is my Jeep done?
Yeah. Did you have a good time at the dance show? Oh, I loved it. What was your favorite part? Oh, your piano piece. So anyway, where's my Jeep?
Yeah, is it finished?
Can I have the Jeep?
You drove it here, right?
Right? Hello?
It's parked outside with a bow?
Knock, knock. Who's there? Where's my Jeep? Fuck.
You've been busy on that, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got, like, from my understanding, you got about one thing left, which is a oil pan gasket.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I did. It wasn't yesterday. I had sent her my weekly updates. No. I sent her my weekly update on Sunday. I said, I didn't tell her specifically that I was on PTO, but I said, here's where I'm at. The drum brakes, I think I just wrapped up the drum brakes for the weekend, knowing that we were getting serious rain.
Mm-hmm.
So Sunday evening, I put up the pop-up tent because it's parked outside over the engine bay to conduct what would be the rest of the repairs. On Monday, I needed to do the passenger engine mount still.
Yeah.
The harmonic balancer and the front crank pulley or front crank seal, and I needed to do the steering box. So I said, Monday I'm doing the mount, balancer, crank seal. Tuesday I'm doing it's dedicated all of the steering box. I've got a tent, so I'm rain or shine.
Yeah,
I'm doing it. I kept that schedule. Tuesday early evening, I was way ahead of doing the steering box. It was not nearly as complicated. And I think a lot of that has to do with, I think in the last episode, I just opted to get a remanufactured steering box.
Yeah.
That was just out and back in.
Unplug and replug.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Your son's Milwaukee half-inch fucking torque gun.
Yeah.
That thing.
That's a monster.
Easy work.
Yeah.
You have to re-torque the Pitman arm bolt to the steering box at 185 foot-pounds.
Oh, boy.
That thing got me. I had to, let it go because I didn't know if it would blow past it or not.
Uh-huh.
But it put that nut all the way up to where I needed it to be. Quick work.
Yeah.
And then I got out my 185 torque wrench. It was not far off.
Oh, man.
And I went, sweet. That was easy. And getting the nut off, it was, in probably a minute and a half.
Yeah.
It was done. I only had the amount of YouTube episodes I saw of people
struggling
with fucking propane torches.
Well,
and air. Now I know I know they're not faking it.
Well, I think you're watching shows where they're in the Rust Belt or something.
It could be.
You know what I mean?
I know those. Yeah, those are all real scenarios and possible things.
Yeah.
But California Jeep, I got it off, and it started to get a little bit stuck, maybe halfway. 5-pound, bing. Came right off, and I went.
Well, that was easier than
I
expected.
struggled more trying to get the hydraulic lines, the high pressure and low pressure lines, back on it in an orientation than I did getting it on and everything torqued back down to spec.
Right.
Than anything else. The hydraulic lines were just I had pumped out all the fluid. Prep work made it an hour and a half. Then I kind of got to and I'm like, well, shit.
That's it?
Okay.
That was easy.
And then I'm like, well, now what do I do? Because if you look over here on the floor, I've got a series of lists of like a mechanic checklist. Okay, so I torque this, these bolts.
Right.
This needs to be greased. This new fluid. Check. I had figured I was going to get all the way into the evening and then remake some lists of checklist stuff. And I think it was early afternoon, and I went, okay, I'm way ahead.
Right.
Okay. So I got a bunch of time to button things up. Tuesday, it was a little bit more sunny, so that worked out. I think that probably led to a lot of the progress.
Yeah.
I did run into an unforeseen thing, as we had mentioned earlier, in chasing what they were diagnosed with, what was leaking from the front of the engine. They had diagnosed it as the front crank seal, which did need to be replaced. But as I got things off of the Jeep, it was pretty apparent that whoever had put on the oil pan gasket, it was aftermarket. I don't know when they did it. It wasn't stock. And I don't have any records to know when that was done, but it was definitely an aftermarket seal. And it looks like they, in something like that, where you've got to kind of come up together, like you would put on your lug nuts, you've got to kind of torque it in a pattern so that way you don't get anything. And then you don't want to over torque it, because what it looks like is that they tighten the front so heavy that to visually picture it, pretend you're holding a piece of white bread between your index finger and your thumb, and you press down so tight that you
Play-Doh or something.
Yeah, you split the bread from compressing it so hard, and then you just kind of punch a hole in it, squeezes out both sides of your fingers. That's what looks like someone did to this gasket. They tightened it so much that the gasket split.
Is it actual gasket or was it a liquid gasket?
It's a rubber gasket.
It is? Okay.
Yeah. And it's pretty clear. Last night, giving all my checklist stuff, I had put this as because I pre-bought an oil pan gasket, just thinking if something goes south and this is part of something that I need to replace, I'd like to have this, and if not, I'll just give it to her.
Right.
Anyway,
you got an extra gasket?
Right. In looking at this, I'm like, I've done everything on the invoice that needed to get done. All these parts have been replaced. I'm going to take it out I completed the checklist. I'm going to take it out, get it up to temperature, get the oil pressure up, drive it around, make sure all my shit's, the
Working.
engine mounts,
Right.
I got to let those work in a little bit, get it up to temperature, oil pressure, and whatnot. And then I'll see if, in fact, the gasket is split in such a manner that there's nothing where the pan meets the engine block, or if it's like the Felpro gasket I have, that it's so wide that it's possible it's still sealed on the inside half,
Right.
and I'm looking at the outside half, and it's fine. I wouldn't have been happy about it, and I would have told her either way, like, we need to keep an eye on this. Anyway, in my 20-minute drive around, everything's checked out fine. Nothing spiked. Nothing went sideways. But when I parked it and then did my undercarriage inspection, it was clear that it was still, once oil pressure got up to where it needed to be and the oil got hot, it was gooping out and then still flinging around the bottom of the engine.
So the picture that you sent of the gasket, it looked like it had squeezed out to the side rather than being squeezed and like half of it being inside the pan and half of it looked like it was all outside. I mean,
yeah, and
the gaskets aren't super wide. I mean, they're only like 1/4 inch or more, a little more wide as far as how much mating surface space they have.
yes.
But it looked like most of that gasket had come out the front.
Yes,
and then
in this
curled up.
Yeah, in this case, I'm pretty confident that
You probably have
your identification of that gasket
Yeah.
is that gasket is indeed all the way out. There's nothing on the inside.
Yeah.
I'll show you the Felpro gasket, and you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
And it's so wide with ridges and ribbing
Yeah.
that I don't see what I see currently on the Jeep happening to this Felpro gasket. And that may be just a cheap part that was just, this is lowest denominator and we'll replace it. It's fucked. It's fucked either way. So tonight I will do the oil pan. I pre-bought oil thinking maybe if this happens after this drive. So I'm tiered up, staged up, ready to go.
Right.
Hopefully I will hand this Jeep back to her on Saturday. And then, I'm
awesome.
Figure out other Goodwill things. I rake the gutters around here. I'm overflowing with like Goodwill shit. I remember the thing you were talking about. Was it last year now? Like, let's go around and pick up trash.
I still want to do that. We just
I do
never
too.
did it.
But
Yeah.
I'm like, well, am I a bad person because we haven't done that thing? It's like a Goodwill thing. But the Jeep and I'm
well,
still out here.
we had a bunch of factors. COVID.
Right.
Was starting to get into the heat, which I don't deal with the heat very well.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a bunch of factors involved, but at some point we just got to do it.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of gaskets, there's a series I watch from a channel called Throttle on YouTube.
Yes.
And they're building the K20 rear-wheel drive Civic.
Yes.
And they were getting it ready for its first start, and so one of those processes was to put the oil pan on the car.
Okay.
Because it was just up there and finger tight so they could fit stuff, right?
Okay.
And they didn't put a regular, like what I would consider to be an oil pan gasket. They did a liquid, gasket. They basically squeezed this liquid around, and then they were talking about the process was to mate it up with the car and get the nuts finger tight so that this liquid gasket could touch the bottom of the motor, but don't tighten it so it squeezes it out because it's still liquidy. So you're trying to get it to touch and let it harden for 20 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever it is, enough that it gets hard so that when you cinch it up, it doesn't squeeze out. It's still hard, but still malleable, and it will squeeze and hold its shape rather than squeeze out of the... And I was like, oh, that makes sense. And he was basically saying this is the reason why it has... The people who use these kind of gaskets get a bad rap for it because they don't use it properly. They put it onto the pan, stick the pan up, and then tighten it all down, and that just squeezes all the gasket material away. And I thought, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought that was an interesting...
Was it Permatex?
I think that's what it is. Like black goo.
Well, it wasn't black, but...
Yeah, whatever this was, there was like a black goo.
Permatex
probably comes out of a little squeeze bottle. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought that was fascinating, and I'd never seen anybody use a like rubber/metal gasket for an oil pan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it's common in race applications. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think, yeah. And you'll see the Felper one I have even has like metal reinforcement inserts for the nuts.
Right.
Like so that you're not accidentally punching through it's got like little metal collars for where the
nuts go.
Yeah.
Well, that gives it a positioning.
Yeah, guide.
Yeah, so that you don't like get it cockeyed or some shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, now, this thing's got all kinds of little whoops and bends. I remember working on my dad's truck, and it's just like an oval kind of thing. Like,
oh, so this one, because don't they, a lot of times now with the oil pan gaskets, they go around like the timing cover and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the same?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the case on this one too?
Mm-hmm.
So do you have to seal the bottom of the motor in those little grooves? Do you have to put something else in there? Okay.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Like Honda Bond or something? That's what a lot of people claim they use.
The Permatex gasket.
Use that.
You just a little
right in the corner.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm excited to see how it goes when she gets it back and if it's meets her expectations.
I hope.
I would hope so. I would imagine.
It sounds
it's definitely coming back to
I'll
her
turn
better
it on
than
for
she
you
dropped it off
when you leave.
Yeah.
It's interesting. You would not. I don't know. For me, when I hear it, I don't hear 4-cylinder. It sounds like
a 6 or something.
Just a beefy something. It does not sound like 4.
Does it have an aftermarket exhaust?
No.
Oh, it's stock. Huh?
Yeah, all stock.
Huh. Interesting.
I used the Cerakote.
Yeah.
I
haven't done that yet.
I went to when I put it on the Stinger, so like her front bully bar kind of thing.
Yeah.
When I had some spare and it made it blackened it and coated it and sealed it, I went, well, I bought some extra, so I'll use a couple. I decided the canvas doors material that are on like the removable doors
on the inside
that were like faded.
Oh, those, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, well, if this goes south, I'm
buying new doors.
I'm buying new doors or some shit. It black as night.
Yeah.
Like it blackened them real nice.
Like brand new.
Yeah, the faded metal hardtop thing that's like a shell. I did just like the back over window. There's like a line, so it allowed me I don't have to do the whole thing kind of thing. I just did like a hoop.
Okay.
Shiny black for there too. Her wheels.
Oh.
I only did the one on the ass because she'll take it off roading, so I'm not going to waste the.
Right. That's the pricey for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not. That's British too. I'll tire wet the tires, but I'm not going to touch the wheels.
Yeah.
We're there's so many scuff marks.
Oh, on the wheels themselves.
Yeah, the wheels themselves.
I gotcha.
But I did do the spare, and the spare wheel is black as it looks nice.
Now, when it's raining on that, does it beat up on it pretty good?
Yes.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, it's like a ceramic.
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was.
It's really nice. Like her windows, her
mirrors?
side mirrors that were kind of hanging out of the pop-up tent. It like beads and sheet right off. They just kind of like bump the door and it. Like I love this. I handed because I had 2 boxes when Susie was here. Venus's mom was here. I went into the whole spiel that we did on the podcast about it to her, including the guy that did the tests, and I said, "Use it," because the box was on the table, so it was like a talking piece.
Yeah,
And I said, "This shit." I stand by this 100%. This stuff is amazing. It works. And she's like, oh, yeah, because she had stuff on her, she has a mini.
Yeah.
She's got black parts. And I said, well, it does have to be dry. It was raining, obviously, so I can't test it. I'm like, so she wrote it down and whatnot. I'm like, here. I tore open the box.
Take a couple.
I handed her 5.
Yeah.
I'm like, honest to God, this stuff works. I'm gonna throw out all the other black wedding restoration shit in the garage because one is I only have so much space. But I'm like, take it, use it, make sure it's dry and it can't get wet for like 2 hours or 4 hours. I can't remember what the curing time is, but it's money. Shit is money.
Yeah, the Cadillac has the cowling under the wipers, that plastic piece that runs across underneath the hood.
Mm-hmm.
That thing turns gray, and it bugs me. I've been using up until now, Chemical Guys VRP or something like that on there.
Yeah.
And it looks fine for a little while, but it always ends up turning gray real quick soon.
The VRP stuff works fantastic on engine bay stuff. Like that's not going to get not going to get hit by sunlight in another 3-4 hours.
Right.
VRP I'll use forever a day inside the engine bay. Yeah. Absolutely great product for that.
I can't wait to use the Cerakote on Shanna's CRV.
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm excited. If not, I'm on PTO. I just drive up to her workplace. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Coder shit.
Well, it's got black cladding along the bottom of the doors. All the mirrors are black. There's black on the front and back bumpers. There's black that runs across the roof. The roof rails are black. I mean, it's got a ton of plastic. The mirrors look. Oh, and all the door handles are that black plastic. They start to get chalky and white.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to do that. In fact, at one point I even tested on her car using Magic Eraser, and that worked.
Sorta.
Kinda, but it leaves a texture behind because there's a little bit of grit in it. It's it's not super soft, but it has enough texture on it that it leaves a little bit behind. I didn't really like that because I don't want to destroy it. I just want to try and maintain the black. So that's when I ran across the Cerakote, and then you got to it to use it before I could try it. So I just haven't done it yet. I just got to go buy a box. They got it at Walmart. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they have it in the car.
And I've been there a couple times for random shit, and I didn't see it.
They have a whole section of Chemical Guys,
that
and it's
I know
pretty much right next to that.
Really?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Like down on the bottom.
I may need another
shelves.
set.
Yeah.
So we're at time.
All right.
Do you have last moment Christmas ideas for anyone that might be listening?
Do I have any last moment Christmas ideas for myself?
No, for someone that's looking to get someone do you have a go-to?
No.
Cerakote.
Get some Cerakote for that. If you got somebody with a guy that has everything, get him some Cerakote.
Yeah, the car detailing.
Yeah.
Something that I hadn't really run into until I'd been underneath a vehicle and working on it was really good eye protection. Comfortable. Not because it's all plexiglass or Lexan anyway, but the comfortable glasses that fit over the ears and on the nose that aren't hard. It's got some sort of cushion.
Yeah.
If you have a person that enjoys working on cars and they've got or aren't wearing eye protection,
also
eye PPE.
Milwaukee 1/2-inch.
Oh yeah,
impact driver.
Yeah.
Those are amazing.
I bought a number of tools,
all battery powered,
for this project. Most were straight mechanical hand tool things.
Yeah.
But your son's Milwaukee 1/2-inch cordless
saved your butt.
That's a $300-something thing.
Yeah.
I did have to go buy. Hey, if you need it, I bought an 1 5/16 socket.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check that shit. And a 33mm socket to do Pitman arm nuts.
No,
not Pitman's nuts, but a Pitman arm nut.
Nice.
Which is like an arm and a leg, but different.
And you always end up with those socket sizes that you're like, shit, I'm gonna have to go buy one of.
Yeah.
No one's got that.
Oh my god, I hadn't thought about it because I think I've got something close.
Yeah.
But I hadn't. It had totally just escaped me, and I went, "Fuck." Tuesday came. I got out. I got your son's Milwaukee bag, and I put found the biggest socket on there, and went, Oh, fuck.
Oh, that
I
doesn't fit.
am short by quite a ways on this one.
Time to go to the...
And I'm rummaging around his bag. I had resorted and restacked and organized all of the impact sockets that he had put in there like a lazy little bitch.
Oh, yeah.
But that was...
Imagine if he treats his stuff like that, what he does to my garage.
Yeah. So then I ran quick over to AutoZone. They had exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, fucking... Now I have these 2 one-off sockets for anyone that needs Jeep Pitman arm shit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
For everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
There we go.
Well, let's wrap it up. I think that we definitely need to make sure that people wash their ass because I don't want to smell it.
Yeah. Wear the mask.
Wash your hands.
Return the cart.
Check your oil, Tony.
That's it. Wash your hands. Wash your ass. Wear the mask. Return the cart. Get the shot.
Do the kindness.
And we'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening, everybody.